How to replace an electrical outlet successfully and without dying. You can do it. Replacing an electrical outlet is easy. The hardest thing about it is getting over the fear of doing it. A very understandable fear, I might add, that is shared by many people, including moi. Tools you may need. You will definitely need a new electrical outlet with the screws. Make sure it is the right type of outlet. A screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver. You may need pliers, wire cutters, a new switch plate with screws, an electrical outlet tester. If your outlet works, you may just choose to plug in a lamp or radio. Things to know. When I give directions, like right or left, I will be talking about your right and left when you face the electrical socket. Most electrical outlets have 3 wires, a white wire, red or black wire, and a green wire. Some have 5 wires, 2 whites, 2 red or black, and 1 green. Before you loosen the wires, be sure to see how they are set up on your socket, just in case your socket is unusual. The left side of the electrical socket has 3 screws. You will notice they are different colors from the right side of the electrical socket. The white wire will go on the left side of the socket on the topmost screw. The green wire will go around the bottom screw that is colored green. Some sockets don't have the green screw on the side, but on the bottom of the socket. Don't worry, I will demonstrate this later. The right socket has 2 screws. This is the side the red or black wire will go on the topmost screw. The breaker box. In order to change an electrical outlet, you will need to turn off the electricity. This requires that you know where your breaker box is and which circuit cuts off the electricity to that outlet. A piece of advice: when labeling your circuits, try not to use names like Jessica's room or bedroom AC. My family is always confused because of this. I've had different rooms in the past, so is it the bedroom I had when I was 8 years old or the one I had when I was in my 20s? We changed from window ACs to wall ACs, which use different outlets. So which AC outlet are we talking about in Gail's room? The wall or window one? I'd suggest labeling each outlet with a number or letter and then using that to identify which circuit turns off what. Step 1. Turn off the electric to that outlet. Step 2. Remove the screw to the wall plate. Sorry for some of the grainy pictures. It is hard to take photos while doing something. Hopefully you can see enough to get the idea. To know which direction to untighten the screw, remember this rhyme: left loosey, righty tighty. I was replacing an outlet that still worked. Some of my outlets have stopped working, and I bought a large package of new ones. I decided to replace all my outlets, even the ones that worked, because they are all 44 years old and have never been replaced. This is why it is good to replace things before they stop working. When I took the outlet off, the front broke off. It isn't good to have things in such bad condition that they break and possibly cause worse problems. Imagine if this happened when I was plugging in a lamp. Step 3. Remove the top and bottom screws on the outlet. This may be hard to do if you have painted over them. Step 4. Pull the outlet out. Just a note of warning, this can be gross. Be prepared to at least encounter dust and rubble. You may also encounter bug carcasses. Study the outlet and see how the wires are arranged, just in case you have an unusual setup, which can happen if your house was built by an individual, was owned by someone who fancied himself or herself as a repairman and liked to rig things up, or if the builders were cutting corners. Step 5. Remove the wires from the old outlet. If they are attached to the screws, just unscrew them. If they are attached to the back, use the wire cutters to cut the wires. If you didn't need to cut the wires from the socket, jump to step 8. Step 6. If you had to cut the wires, you will have to cut the insulation around the wires until you have enough to form a hook. Try not to cut the wire itself. Step 7. If you haven't already done it, turn the top of each wire into a hook. If you can't totally form it into a hook, you need to cut off more insulation. Step 8. Attach the white wire to the topmost screw on the left side. Use your screwdriver to tighten the screw after you hook the wire around it. You may have to hold down the wire while you tighten it because sometimes they slip out. If your socket had 2 white wires, which happens with the 5-wire sockets, place the second white wire on the second screw the yellow arrow is pointing to and tighten it. Same color wires must be on the same side. Step 9. Attach the green wire to the bottom screw on the left side. Some green wire screws may actually be on the bottom of the socket. Step 10. Attach the red or black wire to the right side of the socket's topmost screw and tighten. You may need to hold down the wire to keep it from popping out. If you have a 5-wire socket, the second red or black wire will go around the second screw the yellow arrow is pointing to. Tighten this screw. Remember to keep same colored wires on the same side. White is to the left of the socket, green too if the screw is on the side, and red or black are to the right of the socket. Step 11. Push the socket back into the hole. This, like most things, can be difficult. It is easier to take things out than put them back in, particularly if you have the 5-wire type of socket. Step 12. Place the screws into the top and bottom of the socket and tighten. Step 13. Make sure the socket is totally secured. Then screw the wall plate back on. Step 14. Turn the power back on. The outlet should work. New outlets can be virginal and be hard to plug into. Troubleshooting. If the socket still is not working, ask yourself these questions. Did you turn the power back on? Don't laugh, this is actually easy to forget to do. Did the wires fall out or are they not connecting to the screws? Did you put the wires on the correct side? It is always possible the outlet is faulty. Try another one, and if that doesn't work, then you may have a bigger problem on your hands. Call an electrician.